Hi, my name is Bob Lichtman, and I'm very privileged to be your Federation's Chief Jewish Learning Officer. This week, Jews all over the world are going to read the Torah portion of Shmini. It talks about the 8th day after 7 days of preparing the inauguration of the tabernacle in the desert, the forerunner of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. Aaron presides over the inauguration ceremony, and things go tragically wrong. At the height of the celebration, after Aaron brings fires, as instructed by Moses through God, to celebrate the inauguration of this Mishkan and to welcome the divine presence into the Jewish community. Just a few minutes after that, Aaron's sons do something similar, although they're not bidden to do so by Moses or by anybody, and they're instantly killed by a fire from God. This is one of the most tragic episodes in the Bible, with Aaron literally standing over the corpses of his two sons. And the Torah gives us two words to describe his reaction. The words that the Torah uses in Hebrew are Vayidom Aharon. Now, there are several ways to interpret this, and that's what I find kind of refreshing. It's what I want to share with you today, because the traditional way of defining Vayidom Aharon is based on Rashi, who says, based on a Midrash, Vayidom Aharon means Aaron was silent. He stifled himself. He stifled his reaction. The Abravanel brings another explanation for Vayidom Aharon, which is he had no reaction at all. His soul became lifeless as a rock, and he was stunned into silence. Now, I'm indebted to Rabbi Shai Held for bringing this third explanation to my attention. This is from a contemporary Torah scholar named Rabbi Baruch Levine, who says, Vayidom actually doesn't mean silent. The very same word can mean that Aaron moaned or he mourned. And this, to me, is frankly a more kind of natural human reaction. To see his sons dead at his feet, Aaron, at the height of the celebration, with the whole Jewish community watching him, began to moan, began to cry. Now, however you define these words, whether he was silent or lifeless or he moaned, in any one of these instances, what happened next is that Moses says to Aaron, you are not to mourn. Your role now is to continue in the leadership role that God vested in you and to create this special sacred space for the Jews to commemorate their relationship with God, for God to be with the Jews for eternity. And so Aaron continued with the ceremony. And this, to me, is the way I think a lot of us are feeling about the situation in Ukraine right now. How do we react? Are we stunned into silence? Do our souls become lifeless like a rock because we don't know what to do? Or are we reduced to tears? And I think about my colleagues who work for the Joint Distribution Committee and the Jewish Agency for Israel. I mean, they're facing this now, watching this on the news or reading in the newspaper. Every day they're meeting the faces of people who've escaped death. And they know that behind them are people who might be dying or dead. How do they respond? Are they silent? Do they moan? They act. They enact the leadership role that was invested in them by us and by the Jewish community to save lives and to keep going. This is the true mark of leadership. These people, our colleagues who are saving lives all throughout Europe now, they're true heroes. They're supported by us, and we hope that they feel our support as they continue in this heroic role. They'll have time to mourn, however they do it, God willing, soon, when this tragedy ends, and hopefully it'll end for the better. Until then, we're with them in support of their leadership. And we're thankful for the role that they play on behalf of our Jewish people. And we wish them and all of you Shabbat Shalom.